Hi there! We're so excited that you're interested in applying to study abroad. We hope this video will help answer some of your questions about the course approval form for study abroad. First, what is a course approval form? The course approval form is the document that you will use to ensure that the courses you take abroad will transfer back to NC State and fulfill the correct degree requirements. In order to complete the form, you will work with approvers from your department and college to determine how the courses you plan to take will fit into your degree audit. Next, who needs to complete the course approval form? You will need to complete a course approval form if you're participating in a program where you will enroll in an institution abroad and earn transfer credit. All exchange, direct enroll, and non-NC State programs require a course approval form as part of their applications. Now we will walk you through the process of completing your course approval form. After attending the Study Abroad Fair and reviewing our Programs by Area of Study page, Ms. Wolf decides to apply to study abroad at the University of Leeds in the UK for a semester as an exchange student. Because she'll be earning transfer credits, she will need to complete a course approval form as part of her application. Her first major is nutrition, and she has a minor in philosophy. She has already spoken with her academic advisor to make a list of the requirements she needs to complete while she's abroad in order to stay on track for graduation. They have also identified a few other requirements, such as GEPs and electives, that should be easier for Ms. Wolf to fulfill abroad.
First, she visits the University of Leeds program page in Pack Abroad. She clicks on the Academics tab and finds a link to information about the courses offered at Leeds. She looks through the course options and she identifies some courses she's interested in taking, along with a few alternates.
Most universities do not post their course schedules very far in advance. So when searching for courses, you may need to look at the courses offered in the corresponding semester the year before. For example, if you're applying to study abroad next spring, you may need to look at the courses offered this spring. Typically, the same courses are offered each fall and spring. Ms. Wolf will not know for sure how these courses will transfer back until she sends her course approval form along to her department and college to be reviewed. But she can use the transfer credit database as a resource to see how courses have been transferred back in the past.
Ms. Wolf clicks on the link in the Leeds brochure page to access the transfer credit database. She needs to search for courses taken at other institutions and click the By Country option under institution's location. She selects the United Kingdom, University of Leeds, and all departments. There she can see all of the courses that have been transferred back from Leeds in the past and what their NC State equivalents were. Ms. Wolf sees that Elements of Human Nutrition has been transferred back to count for NTR 301 in the past. And this is a requirement she was hoping to fulfill abroad. So she's going to add that course to her course approval form and check off the column to indicate that it was listed in the database. She's also interested in the Nutrition Policy and Public Health course, but she does not see it in the database. So when she submits her form to her approvers, she will need to include a syllabus or course description for this course, and for any others that were not previously approved in the database. Now that Ms. Wolf has identified the courses she wants to take at Leeds, she fills in her course approval form the way she hopes her courses will transfer. If some courses don't have an obvious course number, it's okay to only include the course title. Similarly, when filling in the NC State degree requirement, Ms. Wolf will include a course number for some courses and the name of the requirement for others. For example, Intro to Genetics counts as GN 311, while Nutritional Policy and Public Health counts as a major elective. Now Ms. Wolf needs to identify her approvers so she knows who needs to sign her course approval form. She looks at the Study Abroad Course Approval Contacts page in the Course Approval Form document and finds her college. Her major, nutrition, is in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, so she looks at the corresponding row. To find her department approver, she clicks on the link provided. She's redirected to the Coordinators of Undergraduate Advising page, where she searches for her major. She will email her course approval form to the email address provided in order to get departmental approval on her major courses. Once she has her department approver signature, she can send her course approval form on to her college approver, listed back on the Study Abroad Course Approval Contacts page. The college approver will also approve any GEPs or electives. Ms. Wolf plans to take a history GEP, so she also needs approval from the history department on that course. All other GEPs and electives only need to be approved by the college approver from your first college. Ms. Wolf also wants to take a couple of courses towards her philosophy minor, so she also needs to find her approvers for philosophy. Philosophy is in the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, so she'll look at the Study Abroad Course Approval Contacts page and repeat the process. Again, she needs to get departmental approval before she sends her form along to the college approver. Make sure you follow the instructions on the form. For example, international studies students see their academic advisor or departmental approval. And there are specific approvers listed on the form for some foreign languages. If you're a management student, you will work with Pool Global to complete your course approval form, and they will submit it to the Study Abroad office on your behalf.
Once Ms. Wolf has all the signatures she needs on her course approval form, she will email it to the Study Abroad office at study_abroad@ncsu.edu. Once we receive the form, one of our staff members will review it and check off the course approval form requirement in her application. Until we mark it as received, Ms. Wolf will not be able to press submit. You'll need to submit your form before 5 p.m. on the deadline day to get the requirement checked off before the deadline. Ms. Wolf has now successfully completed her course approval form as well as all remaining application requirements. She can now submit her application and is one step closer to studying abroad next semester. Final tips. It can take a couple of weeks to get the signatures you need for your course approval form, so please plan ahead and get this process started as early as possible. When you turn in your course approval form, we will check to make sure it has the correct signatures and that you have at least enough courses approved to be considered a full-time student for that term. Please also keep in mind that the course approval form you submit before the deadline may just be a first draft. You can always make changes and get more courses approved later if need be, even once you've arrived in country. Finally, always make sure that any course you end up taking abroad is approved. Otherwise, you may return from studying abroad and realize the courses you took will not fulfill the requirements you wanted them to. Thank you for watching this video to learn how to correctly complete your course approval form. Please email your Study Abroad advisor or the Study Abroad office if you have any questions.